This is your Adventist News, a service of the South Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. I'm Charlie Swain. It has been a joy to serve the Lord in 2024 with mission work, evangelistic campaigns, and more. During this year in review, we will reflect on stories that celebrate His faithfulness towards His people in the South Bahamas Conference. So stay right here as we look at 2024 Year in Review. The 2024 convention began January 19th with much enthusiasm at the William Thompson Auditorium under the theme Commissioned for Mission. The guest speaker was Pastor Stephen Gates of the Southeastern Conference in Florida.
The event brought together various ministries including youth, children's and adolescent ministries, music, and Adventist layman services and industries. The featured speaker was Pastor Stephen Gates of the Southeastern Conference in Florida, USA. On Friday evening, Gates reminded the attendees of God's unwavering commitment to go above and beyond to save one lost soul.
The South Bahamas Conference and Bahamas Academy faculty, staff, and students mourned the loss of Alison Garcia, a stalwart employee and former vice principal of the school. Her commitment to encouraging students to pursue excellence was commendable, and her life was reflected upon by members of the Inter-American Division and Bahamas Academy.
In his homily, Inter-American Division Executive Secretary Dr. Leonard Johnson commended Garcia for her unwavering faith in God, which has been an inspiration to everyone she met.
Even though she was suffering, even though she knew her condition, Alison was not one to give up. She would doubt her doubts, but never her God. Doubt your doubts, but not your God. Like Job, she was able to declare, though he slay me, yet will I trust in him.
The conference hosted two major evangelistic series during the year. The series was held at the R.M. Bailey High School from February 18th to March 16th for the Creole-speaking community under the theme La Wayonne Sava Vini with evangelist Moïse Abois. 40 individuals made the decision to be baptized during the Haitian Creole-speaking evangelistic series. Among those who decided to follow Jesus were 19 youth and children. Under the theme La Wayonne Sava Vini, the campaign began on February 18th to March 16th, where Pastor Moïse Abois delivered powerful sermons each service. The series also included health seminars, music, and powerful prayers, and involved all members of the three churches, including the Pathfinders organization and youth. The English-speaking evangelistic series was held on Gladstone Road from March 31st to April 27th, under the theme Jesus is the Answer. Pastor Stephen Gates returned to the Bahamas as the featured speaker.
The crusade featured praise and worship, musical selections, and most importantly, prayer. Each night, the audience received messages of hope delivered by international evangelist Pastor Stephen Gates from West Palm Beach, Florida. Reflecting on the series, South Bahamas Conference President Pastor Kenny DeVoe expressed gratitude on behalf of the administration and members for Gates' dynamic presentations.
We were blessed with his enthusiasm, his knowledge of the Word, and the depth of his understanding. The goal was to involve our members in evangelism. You know, there was a concept that we had several years ago called total member involvement. And we wanted to involve all of our churches in this outreach.
We were blessed to have a nonprofit international health organization travel from America to conduct a free health clinic for the Creole-speaking members of our community. Healthcare Ministries, also known as HCM, provide free medical care to those in the Haitian diaspora, as well as any other person in need.
Founder and president of HCM, Dr. Daniel Mondesir, shared the group had to diversify its destinations to reach more persons in the Haitian diaspora.
We decided to, you know what, since we cannot go to our homeland to help our own people, but they are spreading all over the world and they are still suffering so much. And a lot of them are underprivileged in many different parts of the world. So we decided until our homeland gets better, we are going to help those that are in need in other places where it is less dangerous.
The end of March saw the conclusion of a month-long medical missionary training conducted by Light of Wildwood Institute at the New Angliston Church, with 67 individuals completing the course. The certification program was sponsored by Adventist Layman Services and Industries, ASI, the Adventist Health Professionals Association, and the Health Ministries Department of the South Bahamas Conference.
The guest facilitators were Teresa Thornhill, registered dietitian and assistant to the director of the Light Caribbean Schools, and Cynthia Bonas, registered nurse and director of Light Caribbean Schools. Their comprehensive curriculum covered lifestyle principles, common diseases, meal planning, cooking classes, hydrotherapy, and health evangelism.
Stay tuned as we review more of the year 2024 after this short break.
Get ready for the South Bahamas Conference 2025 convention under the theme Commissioned for Mission from January 24 to the 26th. It will be a time of powerful worship, deep spiritual renewal, and life-changing fellowship. So come and join us as we gather at the Kendall G.L. Isaac Gymnasium in unity. This convention will be an experience with guest speaker Dr. William Lee of the First Church in Alabama. So don't miss out on this opportunity. Mark your calendars and prepare your hearts for the South Bahamas Conference 2025 convention, Commission for Mission.
Welcome back to the 2024 Adventist Year in Review. The South Bahamas Conference welcomed leaders of the Southern African Indian Ocean Division, SID, during their two-day tour with the Inter-American Division to see how the mission of the church is accomplished in the IAD territory. Pastor Harrington Akumbwa, president of SID, said that to see what was done in the territory was history in the making for the leaders of SID.
We are grateful that we have been here for the last 3 to 4 days. And what do I say about our visit? I think it's more or less like the story of the Queen of Sheba who went to visit King Solomon. When she got over there, the half was not told. That has been our experience. Not only that we have been well received, but what we saw on the ground is, I think the church needs to really pay attention to what is happening in this division.
June was a month of celebration for Bahamas Academy, as students of the Early Learning Center, elementary, and high school divisions participated in their commencement exercises in the presence of their family members, friends, and supporters.
Bahamas Academy staff, parents, and supporters gathered at the Joe Farrington Auditorium on Tuesday, June 11th to congratulate the 46 students of the Secondary Division's Platinum Class of 2024. Commencement speaker, Dr. Raymond King, Commodore of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, encouraged the graduates to reflect on their spiritual values and principles as they transition to a new era in their lives. On Thursday, June 13, 2024, the Holy Trinity Auditorium was a place of celebration as 26 students from Bahamas Academy's Early Learning Center graduated under the theme Transformed to Serve. Dressed in a butterfly costume, commencement speaker Marisa Claire Wilson, also known as Auntie Reese, an alumna of Bahamas Academy, had the attention of her audience as she spoke on the life cycle of a butterfly, emphasizing the themes of transformation and change.
Leaders of the Three Angels Broadcasting Network, 3ABN, worshiped with members of New Providence at a special rally held on June 28th and June 29th at the Hillview Church, where the 3ABN representatives shared testimonies of what God has done for them and their listeners.
the representatives shared numerous testimonies of what the Lord is doing at 3ABN and in the lives of their viewers as well as their listeners. The Friday evening devotional was led by Ryan Day, who serves as the general manager for 3ABN's Praise Him Music Network. They admonished the believers to be like Christ and to follow his commandment to love others as he loves us.
Ask yourself, what does it mean to be a commandment keeper? Just simply because you believe in the commandments does not make you a commandment keeper. Just simply because you might teach the commandments does not make you a commandment keeper. Jesus says, I will know if you are a law keeper, if you love as I have loved you.
The youth department hosted a youth revival from June 23rd to 29th at the Living Faith Church under the theme, Ignite the Threshold, to inspire spiritual growth and renewal among the youth. The guest speaker was ministerial intern Ramiko Young.
Throughout the week, the attendees enjoyed worship sessions and special presentations. Guest speaker Elder Ramiko Young provided powerful sermons each evening, sharing the testimony of God's power, the importance of prayer, and the joy of trusting in God. Young also encouraged the youth to always stand up for their beliefs, even in the face of adversity.
It's not easy, but it takes courage to stand out. And with God, you can have that. All you need to do is pray for it.
In July, the South Bahamas Conference welcomed Pastor Manasseh Sims as the new youth director as we bid farewell to Pastor Jamal Franklin, who accepted the call to join the Allegheny West Conference in the North American Division.
Sims was introduced officially to the youth organization on June 29th during the Youth Evangelistic Series Ignite by former youth director Pastor Jamal Franklin, Pastor Kent Price, representative of the Atlantic Caribbean Union, and Pastor Leonardo Ramming, executive secretary of the South Bahamas Conference, who shared with the congregation the process of selecting the new youth director. During the service, Sims shared his gratitude with the youth for this new venture in joining the youth department team.
I am excited to see what God is going to do in the youth department as we continue this time together. And I'm looking forward to working intently with each and every one of you from all churches, from all islands, even those who are older youth, because I believe that God has a mighty work to do here in the South Bahamas Conference. What do you say?
For nearly 8 years, Pastor Franklin has served as the youth director, although he began his mission in the Bahamas much earlier. In 2013, he led a mission project with 22 students from Montemorelos University to plant the first Adventist Spanish church in Nassau, Bahamas, called La Senda de la Vida. He also pastored churches in North Andros, as well as the Bethany and Johnson Park churches, baptizing more than 200 individuals for the kingdom here in the Bahamas.
Our Pathfinders traveled to Gillette, Wyoming from August 6th to 13th for the International Pathfinder Camboree under the theme, Believe the Promise. The contingency from the South Bahamas Conference numbered 115, with the local Pathfinder clubs consisting of Ephesus Gators, Hillview Stingers, Grandstown Northern Stars, Living Faith Trailblazers, Centerville Golden Eagles, and La Senda Guerreros del Rey, Warriors of the King.
At Believe the Promise, halls full of exhibits, vendors, and on-site activities allowed Pathfinders to learn more about history, Adventist organizations, and culture, careers, hobbies, skills, volunteer services, and different types of honors.
The women of the South Bahamas Conference were proud to be the hosting territory of the Atlantic Caribbean Union's Women's Conference, held from October 11th to 13th at Atlantis on Paradise Island.
The guest speaker for the conference was Jill Marconi, Vice President of 3ABN, a faith-based nonprofit organization. Marconi spent the weekend ministering to the women about their values, their purpose, and their mission in Christ.
He wanted us. He chose us because we're so worthy. Did he choose us because we're so pretty? Did he choose us because we are somehow good? No, he chose us because he loves us. You are chosen as God's daughter because he loves you.
while the men of our conference engaged in a spirit-filled weekend of worship from November 15th to 16th for their annual men's conference under the theme Empowered by God.
The speaker for the weekend, Pastor Wilson Isnod, delivered powerful sermons at the conference which left those in attendance spiritually motivated to get closer to God.
God has a way of allowing our best efforts as men to fail so that we can acknowledge Him as the one who is in charge, not us. You know, every now and then we have to step back and throw ourselves aside to allow God to be who He said that He is.
Members of the ASI Bahamas chapter participated in numerous mission activities across Ghana from October 15th to 31st. The group traveled to Sunyani, Ghana, where they also celebrated with the members for the church's 20th anniversary. According to ASI President Ian Green, this trip marked the first international mission trip for the organization.
Yes, we must do your mission work at home. So we did our evangelistic efforts at outreach and health ministries, at teaching the gospel, sharing Christ in our marketplace in the entire archipelago of the Bahamas. For the first time in almost 7 years, we are doing international missionary work. We are here because we have celebrated in the past 2 weeks 20 years of Amazing Grace coming here in Sunyani, Africa. And we believe that in Africa, we will now establish permanent missionary work.
We welcomed Dr. Daniel Bediako, Associate Director of the Seventh-day Adventist Biblical Research Institute, to the 2024 Bible Conference, which was held at the Maranatha Church from November 1st to 3rd under the theme Rediscovering Bible Truth. During the weekend, Bediako shared the significance of the sanctuary and judgment and how the sanctuary serves as a link between human beings and divine reconciliation.
Christ's priestly mediation in the heavenly sanctuary is a necessary sequel to His death on the cross. When Jesus died on the cross, it was just the first step. His ministry in heaven had to continue. You know, recently, some evangelical scholars are beginning to even appreciate the Adventist teaching on the sanctuary. They are coming to believe that Jesus is actually doing something in the sanctuary on our behalf.
This concludes our 2024 year in review, and we thank God for all that He has brought us through at the South Bahamas Conference. As we begin the new year, we invite you to continue to join us for your news, highlights, and upcoming events. On behalf of our production team of the SBC Adventist News Network, thank you for watching, and we look forward to the wonderful things God has in store for us in the new year. I'm Charlie Swain. Have a blessed Sabbath and a happy New Year.